Welcome back to Learn with Sam and Ash. In this video, we will discuss a plan where you can become an expert and also understand everything about IELTS in 15 days. And yes, we have a plan. As you can see, every day is mentioned here from day 1 to day 15, and it's not just one page. We have a lot of them. Basically, every day schedule is also discussed here. And trust me, if you go through this, you will definitely understand it, and also you'll be able to practice it. Now, if you want to do it with us, basically with me as your trainer, you can visit the website ieltsclass.learnwithsamanas.com, where you will get everything, not just the plan. You will get data, live classes, everything, mock tests and everything. So I would suggest you to go through the website, understand the plans and everything. But if you just want the plan, this video is for you, and the PDF of this plan will be available to you in the description as well. So let's begin with the day 1. Alright then, we have here the plan to crack IELTS in 2014 in just 15 days. As you can see, just 15 days, that's why J capital. And yes, in 24 because it's the latest video that we have. Now, as you can see, we have from day 1 to day 15, and I'll teach you everything. I'll make you understand everything. Let's start with understanding with day 1. First day says here, understand IELTS with every nuance. Nuance in the sense details basically, and don't leave anything unturned. That means we should try to understand each and everything. Now, how will we understand? Let's get rid of the plan for now on site, and we can start with our first day. This is our day 1, and see that we have clearly mentioned what will be the format of the test. Then what are the sections we have in listening, reading, writing, speaking. That means we have total 4 modules, as you can see here. Moreover, as we have discussed here, all the details, how many tasks, how many sections, how many, what will be the answers provided, how you can write the answers, and academic general training separate. So basically everything is provided here. This page will be kind of a cheat sheet to understand what IELTS is. Along with that, we have also mentioned scoring criteria. You should go through this all, you do your own research or go through this paper. It's the same thing. Basically, we have 0 to 5, 9 bands, and overall we have 4 sections. Basically, what are the assessment criteria? We have some tips as well mentioned. Teeny tiny tips, not necessarily, applicable to everyone, but yes, in general, you can say these tips will be helpful, such as practice regularly, familiarize yourself with the test, focus on improvement of weakness, and get feedback from experienced teachers or tutors. So this is where we come in. We'll teach you how. I will tell you how in the coming days. So this is our day 1, right? This is our day 1, and day 1 is about understanding the nuances, right? What about day 2? Day 2 says that create a study plan. In the sense, understand where and when you will study. See, this is important. Many people do not even take care of this. What do? They say, it's okay, I'll study anywhere I like, or wherever I like, or whenever I like. No, we have to create a study plan. How will we create that? Let me show you. So this was our day 1. Let's move it. I have shown here 4 days. Of course, you can increase it to 7 days or 5 days or 6 days, as many days as you study, basically. So this is our day 2 of the whole 15 days. And you can see here, every day, basically, you can decide when will you study, where will you study, and what will you study. So remember that, when, what, and where. I know where is a very meaningless word, but here it's important, because if we set a location, we'll study there itself. Remember. And yes, whenever you write anything related to reading, for example, today I'll practice 2 reading question types. So use a blue pen so that you can, see that, oh, this is reading from a little bit far away, or very quickly you can recognize this. Red pen only for writing, listening. For green pen you use writing, and yellow pen for speaking. Basically, you can buy color pens, and you will see, this will be helpful for sure. Not just using colors, you can also use symbols and shapes to easily see what is my day to day. And yes, this can be done with some time. So that's why we keep it 1 day, full day, to understand what will I study, when will I study. How do you decide this? You can decide this based on a mock test. So we have day 3, a mock test, and that can be reviewed by us. So what does it mean? I'll tell you here itself. So basically, we have a website called ieltsclass.learnwithsamanas.com. I'll show you on the screen right now. And on this website, we have a test which will be for 199 only. We'll provide you the feedback, we'll provide you everything, what you can change, what you can do basically. So go through the website, understand the plan and take the mock test so that you understand where you are, what is your weakness, right? Now comes day 4. On day 4, you understand writing and speaking, scoring and descriptors. See, writing and speaking are different than reading and listening. That's why we keep them together. They have similar descriptors, not the same, but similar descriptors. So what does it mean? So let's get rid of our day 2. And day 3 we already have seen. So this is day 4. So because day 3 was a mock test, this is day 4. So we are understanding what is IELTS scoring and descriptors. As you can see, we have what is the scoring, what are the descriptors, very important 4 descriptors for writing. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion. You also have task response as well when it comes to task 2 basically. Lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and each of them have details. Now like I said, if you want the full details, you have our website. But if you want to understand in basic or understand how all these things work, but in short, here we have them all, and this PDF will be available to you, such as, for example, coherence and cohesion, how you organize your ideas. Lexical resources, all about how you use your vocabulary fluently and flexibly, and also grammatical range and accuracy, that means error-free sentences, good structure. Basically, this is all we have. GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. Some people call them in short, such as TATR, CC, LR and GRA. Very important concepts, and you should all understand them. And in the end, we have speaking descriptors too. Same, fluency and coherence. Lexical resource, same as here. In the fluency and coherence, you just have to understand what is fluency, how you can enhance it, and yes, you need a speaking partner to enhance it. We do provide partners in our sessions, and this is we can enhance it. Of course, in detail we'll discuss later in our sessions. Here you have to understand we need a partner to enhance the fluency. Third one is grammatical range and accuracy, same as the previous. And then 4th is very important, pronunciation. It's not accent. Remember, accent is not important unless and until you are clear to the person who's asking you a question, basically, in speaking. Pronunciation is understanding what is syllable stress. So these are the things which are important, and it should be easy to understand for the person who is asking you a question, precise and proper, basically. Yes, native like pronunciation, but which native, they never show that because accent is not important, right? So this was our day 4, actually, what we saw, right? We're going to go to day 5. Look at day 5, reading and listening, scoring, structure and challenges. Now, what do you mean by challenges? What are the biggest problems when it comes to reading and listening? We'll see that, and how are they scored and what is the structure of them. We need to know the structure. Once you know the structure, it's easy to practice. So let's jump to our day 5 now. So we'll remove the day 4 page and let's go to day 5. In day 5, let's understand first of all reading. In scoring, it's 0 to 9, and we have whole score basically. If you're correct, you get 1 mark, and score band is provided with 0.5 increment. You can get 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5 like this. And overall scoring is important based on the passage. So structure, I think I've already discussed in a way. So you will get passage basically where you have question types based on passages, and we have 3 sections. And in general training, these 3 passages will become 5. Yes, they will become shorter. Challenges, definitely time management, biggest challenge in reading, because you have only 60 minutes and 40 questions. Let it be general training or academic, both are crazy. Complex vocabulary, some words are difficult to understand, and hence we misunderstand the sentences written, and then we choose the wrong answer. Understanding the context, sometimes we, like I said, because of vocabulary or something else, we misunderstand the concept and we ruin our chances. Paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is how we need to change what they have mentioned. If they change it in the questions and we find the answer and we are not able to, this is what happens. Skimming and scanning, some people do not know how to skim and scan in the passage, and there we go, we get a problem. Listening structure is that we have similar scoring structure, no change in there, but in normal structure of the question, all of you remember there will be 4 sections, okay? Section difficulty increases, that means overall difficulty increases, And sections will include conversation between two people, or monologue, or discussions of multiple speakers, depending on the sections, which we have also declared in our previous video, the main video of IELTS. Right, not just that, we have more, and we have challenges. Biggest challenges: accent and pronunciation. Now this is not important unless and until you have problem that nobody can understand. Basically, you have very thick accent, nobody can understand, then it's a problem. Otherwise, no. Pronunciation is important. Speed of speech, that means pace. See, if your English is good, you are able to properly talk, but you speak way too fast, people will not be able to grasp what you're saying, and that will be considered a problem. Memory retention, because see, we need to remember certain concepts, certain words. Initially we do require it. Note taking is important, yes, in here as well, because sometimes some questions or passages are a little bit too fast, and then we sometimes take notes or write few words. This thing can be a challenge, and distractions are biggest challenge in listening. The reason for that is they will not be easy for you. Whatever the question they have provided, they will try to change the words or say, oh, this could be the answer, but then they change it. So distractions are plenty. Right, so this is our day 5, I believe. Yes. Then we move to day 6. In day 6, we have how to introduce your essay, that is introduction of the essay of writing part 2. Part 1 we'll see later, and what is speaking section 1. So let's go to day 6. This was part of our day 5. This is our day 6. You can see here, we start with introduction structure, what we have, how to start with. So basically we create a nice sentence, we call it a hook. Then we provide the context, that means all about the question here in the second part. And then we provide a thesis or main argument, what I want to prove, what I want to say about this statement or whatever the idea is. So this is what we call main thesis, a main argument or thesis statement. And hook examples, as you can see here, start with a thought-provoking question, being relatable statistics, or quotations can also work actually, because there's a nice opening, you can say that. And background statement, you can say that introduce the topic properly or briefly, provide necessary background information, which is always from the question, and overview of the issue discussed. Again, part of the question in a way. Thesis statement has to be very clear as possible. Basically what you want to say. I am not with this idea. So say that clearly, I disagree. And also provide what you're going to provide in the body paragraphs in this case. Not in detail, but in very short, you have to provide. So this is kind of introduction. Of course, how examples of introduction, we have 5 types of questions in IELTS essay writing, and all the 5 types will be discussed in our on our official website in our sessions. If you want them, of course you can register. Otherwise, you have them basic here. Speaking structure, you know that what happens in there. You have 4 to 5 minutes, and examiner going to ask you questions related to basic theories, not way too advanced science topics or anything, not specific topics, but general topics, you can say that. And yes, you have to keep these tips in mind, and there are more, such as speak confidentially and confidently and fluently, provide additional details. Don't be just straightforward, oh, I like this, I like that. No, we have to be more cautious about that. So this is the overview of speaking, right? They are difficult. Now let's go to day 7. This was our day 6. Day 7 has something called reading and listening, listing all the question types and decide the level. See, I would suggest you to do one thing. Take all the questions in listening and reading, and yes, they are available on our website, as also on our official website of IELTS, and decide the level by practicing at least one of each. You have gone through mock test, so you know already, but yes, one of each would be much better. And once you practice that, you would be able to decide which one is your easy or not. I'm giving you some examples. For example, these are some difficult question types in reading. Multiple choice question, true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given, matching heading, matching information, matching feature. All of them are difficult types in reading. Coming to the listening, multiple choice, plan, map or diagram labeling, or form completion, note completion, table completion. Out of the table we can remove still, but yeah, form and note completions are difficult. I'm not saying these are difficult for you, but they are some of the questions which are difficult for me. Right, so I would suggest you to find yours, because you have to do the practice, not me. So you create such list for yourself after you practice. Yes, it should take only one day, because this is our, I believe, day 7, right? And on this day, you should be able to complete all that, figuring out which is difficult for me and which isn't. Coming to day 8, how to write body paragraph and also understanding speaking section 2. Let's do that. Like we did in the case of introduction, this is our day 8. We're going to understand body paragraph. Body paragraph, there are 3 things basically: topic sentence, supporting ideas, and conclusion sentence or examples. I would say example much better than conclusion statement. I like examples. So what happens in here is that you provide what is the topic that you're going to discuss in your body paragraph, right? Later you explain that the statement in the body paragraph, basically what you mentioned here. And finally comes the example, right? So examples or conclusion statement could be about, relevant to the question, the statement, whatever statement you have provided, that I want to use this as an argument. I explain the argument, I give example of the argument. That's the best structure you can use for body paragraph. In speaking, in part 2, they will provide you a task card called cue card sometime, because you get a cue from that, right? You have 1 minute to prepare for that, and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I would say be ready for maximum 2 minutes. After that, they stop you. This is your speaking time. So total time is anything between 3 to 4 minutes officially. So, you can see that structure here. And yes, these are the tips that you can use, such as use grammar properly, maintain eye contact, 1 minute time, use 1 minute time properly. Other tips are also there. But yes, this is the basic structure, and you should go through every detail properly, basically what happens in the examples and everything. And this would cover your body paragraph and speaking section 2. This should be your day 8. Right. Now comes day 9. On day 9, you will be understanding reading and listening, but you will be going with difficult question and practice every day 50 minutes. Now, what does it mean? I'll show you. So this is our day 9. Fine. How to practice difficult question? First of all, identify the questions, which we did on our previous day, which were, I believe, day 7. We understood that, how we're going to do that. Please use official practice material, or you can use our website, Sam and Ash, right? learnwithsamanash@gmail.com. You can write an email if you want the website and details. I'll leave everything in the description. Focus on your weak areas, where am I having difficulty? What skill am I having issues? Not just question type skills. Analyze those mistakes. If you practice what mistakes you are making, simulate exam condition. Basically, be strict to yourself. Don't allow anyone in that room when you're practicing, so that you're getting same stress as real exam. So that's important. Utilize resources that you have, such as finding a tutor or asking people online. They are really good resources while practicing. Develop strategies that we're going to provide you from our side. So Sam and Ash will provide you from in their side if you join the sessions. Otherwise, you can search internet, or we have some basic strategy anyway mentioned in this document, right? Review and reflect. After you have done all this, you have to review your task. How are you doing, basically, right? So this should be on day 9, understanding which questions are difficult from day 7 and only practicing those. Then we jump to day 10. On day 10, we have writing conclusion of writing part 2 and speaking section 3. Now, writing conclusion is important, and it should be good because that's the end of your writing part 2. And let's see how we can do that. First of all, restate the thesis. Whatever you have mentioned in your introduction, my thesis, restate that with a concluding kind of a tone. Summarize main points. Whatever you have mentioned in the body paragraph will be there. You can see here, summarize the main body points, basically in short, and make recommendation or prediction. Basically, you can do that or you can ignore it. It's up to you. Basically, this is the body points itself, and end with a strong closing statement. This should be a really nice message for the world, basically, based on the question. You can have a call to action as well. Do this, guys, do that, or something like that. Of course, not use guys. That is for speaking, not for writing. But call to action and leaving people, in an impression that they are enjoying this and they would read more if they get more information about this, or they should do something. Basically, that's call to action. And this would be the conclusion of your essay. Speaking section 3, we have in here 4 to 5 minutes, but the answers are a little bit extensive, and the questions are from section 2. Basically, section 2 related topics will be there, and you have to speak for anything between let's say 6 to 7 sentences for each question. Earlier it was less in part 1. Part 3, you have to speak for a little bit longer, and the questions are also lengthier. Questions are more abstract and require deeper analysis. Let's mention here. Please remember that you have to listen to the examiner carefully because these questions are lengthy, so you have to understand them. Without that, you will definitely mess up. Right? Mess it up. So yes, we have some tips, but you understand this is the structure. You have to speak for 6 to 7 sentences. Questions are related to section 2. This is your, I believe, day 10. Now coming to day 11, reading and listening again. Practice the difficult types and move to easy list. Now already we have discussed that we have to practice difficult types. Here again you can practice if you have left with, and move them to easy list if they're easy, if they become easy for you. What does it mean? So let's say, 1 second. So we have here some questions, right? And I'm practicing, let's say, MCQs, and I practiced few questions, not just this, and I chose the answer, and true, false, not given, I chose the answer, and matching heading also try, and then same goes, then all the question types you tried, let's say you found them, okay, they're difficult, but after some practice, I'm finding them easy. Move them to easy list. Create a list. Oh, this is easy for me. I'm not going to practice them much. I'm not going to give them much time, right? That's important to do so, right? Same do for listening, and this will take at least a day. So that means our 11th day will be allotted for that task, that moving here and there, difficult and easy, deciding at the end, right? Which question I'll practice at the end, which I want. On day 12, you'll understand writing part 1, structure, vocabulary, and samples. Writing part 1 is different for both general training and academic, and I'll show you how. So we'll have 2 documents for day 12, one for academic, one for general training. Let's talk about academic first. As you can see here, we have a task called writing task academic. Basically, you have to understand the visual. As you can see, we have 6 types of questions possible, and they are line graph, pie chart, bar chart. Yes, it is called chart, process diagram, map difference, and table explanation, right? And we have to interpret the data and then write the answer using this structure, that we have an opening, overview, and main body. Conclusion is not required here because this is not an essay, basically. Language and tone should be expressive. You cannot add more information from your side. Whatever you see is your right. And word count is minimum 150 rather than 250 that we have in writing part 2. Here we have minimum 150. That means you write more than that. And yes, based on these questions you practice. In our document, we have provided some questions as well. You can go through them. If you want all the questions basically practice, again, go to the website ieltsclass.learnwithsmns.com. In the description, I'll provide you. And also you can see on the top of the website. Right, this was your writing part 1 academic. In general training, we have something called letter writing. Basically, you have to write a letter from the question. You have to understand the task, identify the situation, who I'm writing letter to, determine the tone, because it can be formal and informal, both, right? And structure of the essay is very simple. Introduction, that means opening, because if it is formal introduction, otherwise you can have nice sentence such as, oh, last time we met, we did this. Address the questions, whichever we have. There are 3 to 4 questions extra along with the statement, and then a closing, nice closing in the sense, I hope to see you soon, or hearing from you soon, or whatever statement you want to write. There are some words which you have to use. You have to change your vocabulary basically here, a little bit different, and avoid using slang. So basically this is what I'm talking about, vocabulary, and try to use I a little bit more than essay writing. Essay writing we tend not to use I. And finally, we have something called grammar, and this we already have gone through. The grammar and punctuations are important. 150 minimum words, same as academic. And yes, you have to practice writing. Some questions will also be there on our website. Go to the website. So this is your writing task 1, and you have to understand that you have to practice on day 12. Everything about that, right? This is just the basic information. I'm telling you when to do what. And finally, we have day 13. So that is reading and listening, create the list of easy questions. Now, let's say, for example, I find these questions easy. These questions are easy for me, and I'm going to read the questions and understand them. And then I'll just practice them once. All the easy questions, let's say on 13th day. If they are difficult questions, move them again to difficult list. And this will become easy for you to basically understand what I have to practice more, what I have to practice less. The remaining days are really important. I'll explain them. Day 14 and day 15 should be allotted for practicing mock test. and this one as well, but mock test and get the feedback for day 14. So let's discuss it here itself. On day 14, write a mock test and get a feedback from our side. The trainers will provide you feedback from our side. I'll provide you feedback. And after you get the feedback, on day 15, write another test making the changes that we provide you feedback, right? So again, you write one more mock test. And after writing 3 mock tests already, you see the change here. You will see the change here. One mock test was mentioned, first mock test was mentioned on 3rd day, if you remember. Then we have 14th one mock test, and after feedback also you write one more mock test, 15th the final mock test. And trust me, if you follow everything strictly, understand everything in detail, you are ready after day 15. So these are the days. Of course, the PDF will be provided to you in the description, and you can download this PDF. But yes, you have to go through the website and everything. But yes, this is what the whole structure is. 15 days task to complete IELTS. As you can see, plan to crack IELTS in 2024 in just 15 days. Guys, that was the complete plan. I hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said earlier, if you want the complete days, that means all 15 days, in one go, I would suggest you to go for IELTS Masterclass. And if you just want the PDF, visit the website. And remember, we have this mock test thing I told you. You can also visit the website and register yourself for a single mock to see. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great time. See you soon.